to part 2 of the series of Why Can't I Lose Weight? Now we are going through about 10 different videos here in total. So this is the second one. We are talking about a specific topic in relationship to why you might be struggling with weight gain and weight loss resistance. I am Dr. Beth Westie, women's health and hormone expert, author of the books The Female Fat Solution, The Female Menopause Solution. These are on Amazon, as well as host of the podcast, The Female Health Solution. You can subscribe to that as well as subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can easily find all the videos that I've done related to female hormones and health. Now, when we talk about some of these things and why I'm doing a series is because I really want to highlight and draw attention to specific things that can be contributing to your weight gain, weight loss resistance, and why you might be struggling to attain a healthy weight for you. Now, when we dive into each topic, you might realize, oh my gosh, this is a part of what I've been struggling with, but it might not be the only thing. Right? There might be other things that are correlated. There can be other things that you have going on. And super fun, you might realize that there might be several things contributing. This is very common, and this is why we dive into this when I work with women individually. We make sure that we are addressing all of these issues for you specifically, so nothing is being left out. You're not only getting a little bit of a result, but feeling like something's missing. No, we're getting all of it. So when we talk about this topic here, last video I did estrogen, now we're going to talk about thyroid. And you'll see I mentioned estrogen here as well, so make sure you go back and listen to that estrogen video because estrogen is also a part here. And you'll notice that as we go through the videos, there's a lot of tie-in. So that's why this video is done as a series, not just as one big video. So here we go, diving into thyroid, and my thyroid might be responsible for your weight gain and weight loss resistance. This is a fairly more well-known hormone in the body, your thyroid hormone, in that it does control your metabolism. Its main job is your metabolism, but it also does other things in your system. It also helps control your body temperature regulation, things like that. So oftentimes gals who struggle with thyroid, hypothyroid symptoms, you might notice that you kind of feel cold all the time, or you always have really cold hands and feet. You feel like a popsicle, and everybody else in the room is like, no, I'm perfectly content with the temperature. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, and you're wearing like a sweatshirt and pants because you're freezing, right? So there can be other things related with that you can have, you know, like a sluggish thyroid. That's a common term people use, or subclinical hypothyroidism, meaning when we do labs and look at what your thyroid's doing, you might notice, yes, I have some of these things, but not necessarily all of them. Now, when we talk about thyroid labs, oftentimes what is only tested is your TSH, or sometimes TSH and T4. That's not really the complete picture because it's your T3, your active T3, that is the hormone that is utilized by the cells in your body. Now, I have other videos on this, so make sure you go check them out. And I do have a podcast on this as well where I dive deep into this. But what I wanted to highlight for this video specifically is really some of the things that can interfere with the activation and conversion of thyroid in your body for your body to use it correctly. We often forget that, yeah, there's a lot of steps to this process. It's not just like, my body makes thyroid and then it's all good. No, there is a complicated step-by-step process, and along the way, there can be some interference with that. So that is where you have to identify where the problem is to really make the right correction so that you can help your body function better, feel better, and then get to and keep the right results. So here we go. Your brain releases TSH, which is thyroid stimulating hormone. That's what actually activates the thyroid. This is my picture of your thyroid gland, which is right here, right? I'm not an artist, but there you go. That's your thyroid, right? Now, again, only measuring this only gives us a very small piece of the puzzle in terms of looking at how your body and thyroid are functioning. So once that is released or stimulated, the thyroid, the TSH goes to thyroid right here, then your thyroid actually releases T4. T4 then goes through this other conversion process in the body, I drew a wiggly arrow, to then T3, and then T3 is actually the thing that gets to attach to the cells. But when we look at how this works, right, because if this is the end goal to have good amounts of T3 and have this function and work in our body, we have to make sure all the pathways are working correctly as well as they can. Now, there are things called Hashimoto's and Graves' disease. These are autoimmune conditions where there's antibodies that are produced that actually attack your thyroid. So your thyroid is going to have a hard time making this T4. What are some things that contribute to increasing the damage to the thyroid? Well, gluten is one of them. Gluten is very harsh on your thyroid, as well as nightshade vegetables, things like that. Inflammation in general in the body, and we're going to be doing a whole other video on inflammation and targeting that, so stay tuned for that video. And then oxidative stress. Overall oxidative stress, having increased levels of it in your system, meaning your body does not have good cell repair, it can attack your actual thyroid gland and make it more difficult for it to produce the right amount of thyroid hormone for you, T4 specifically. Now when we look at that conversion of T4 to T3, there are some things that are really important in that conversion. If you have increased levels of estrogen in your body, if you have higher levels of estrogen, this is not a great thing, right? If you have that excess estrogen or estrogen dominance, as a lot of people call it, it means that it will bind to more of this thyroid here, this T4, and not convert over into T3. So that means you can get your TSH tested and your blood levels will say, this is fine. This might even be fine. But if you have excess levels of estrogen, this will not be fine. And that's why you feel like you have all the symptoms of hypothyroidism. Very, very common for gals that I've seen it so many times. I see it like every week. And I'm not kidding. I see it about every week at least. Somebody who says, yeah, I had my thyroid tested. And they said it was fine. They said it was fine. They didn't get everything tested. We do a full thyroid panel and we do a Dutch test. And we see, oh, look, you have excess estrogen levels. Oh, look. You don't have the right amount of conversion here. So how we help that is really targeting the estrogen and making sure we're addressing these things. We're addressing the methylation and addressing your body's ability to detox. Essential to do that. Methylation, we're going to talk about that in a whole video as well. Huge impact on your overall metabolism, as well as that conversion to T3. And then detoxification. If your system is too gunked up, we'll say, you can't convert to having that active T3 here. Now, does your body detox on its own? Yes. And again, I'll address this in a whole other video, but it can get overloaded. It can get overwhelmed, and there can be other genetic factors that play a role in this. That means your body's actually not going to detox the way that it should. So these are things that we have to target, we have to test for, we have to check for, and we make sure that we're addressing, especially when we do the Female Hormone Solution program. In this program, we target exactly what your system needs. Because when we're identifying what the problems are, when we're identifying, oh my gosh, this is an issue, we need to make sure that we're addressing all of the things, that we get all the pieces of the puzzle. That we're not just looking at half of the puzzle pieces and saying, I think this is what the picture looks like. Nope, we want all the puzzle pieces to look at everything, to understand what your body has going on exactly, and then create the right solution for you specifically so that you can function better and feel better and get to the right results. So that can take time, of course, but these are things that we dive into with each person in the program. So go below this video, click the link to get on the wait list. I do have a wait list because my program does fill every time I run it, and you don't want to miss out on this. If you've been struggling, stop guessing. Stop running around trying different things, hoping that just by restricting some other nutrient or calorie amount is going to get you the result. If you have issues with your thyroid, that's not going to do it. No matter how hard you push, you can't force function. So we look at function and then go from there. So that's what I got for you guys today. Please let me know if there's any other questions. You can comment on this video. I do check the comments. So make sure you're reaching out privately if you're not comfortable commenting. Otherwise, I'll see you for part 3 and let me know if you have any other questions.